All right, today I'm excited to announce my guest. He's a former McNeese quarterback, SLC and Louisiana newcomer of the year, and a Texas Spring League alum, James Tabary. How's it going today, my guy?
What's up, man? I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. You're from New Orleans, which is obviously, home of the New Orleans Saints. Tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up there and what makes it stand out.
I absolutely love it. I think what stands out about New Orleans is that its uniqueness of culture. Everybody is like family down here. We're very diverse on different types of ethnicities and backgrounds down here. You have your Cajuns, you have your Creole. I mean, it's just a mix of everything. There's a lot of heritage down here. But I love this city so much. I honestly wouldn't rather not grow up anywhere else other than New Orleans. It's a great football state and atmosphere, and man, it's the best of both worlds with food and football. So can't complain about that.
Yeah, speaking of food, what's the go-to meal that someone not from New Orleans like myself has to have when they come?
Oh man, that is a great question. I'd have to say crawfish etouffee, man. You got to go with the seafood / Cajun food. So yeah, crawfish etouffee for sure.
That's what's up. So coming out of high school, right, you had a few offers, but ultimately decided to attend Arkansas State, and then you later transferred to McNeese. What was your recruiting process like, and then what led to your decision to transfer to McNeese?
My recruiting process was crazy. I didn't start until I was a junior in high school. And so that kind of put me kind of behind the game already because a lot of people in my –
No, I can't hear you.
No, okay, all right. I
there we
hit mute. I was holding the phone. My fault.
But
the biggest thing was that by the time I started, there was already 110 commits in my class at the end of my sophomore year. And so it was like, all right, well, there's only 128 D1 schools, how is this going to fare out? So ended up having an amazing junior and senior year. Well, I didn't even get my first offer until like September of my senior year, which was from Southeastern. And then a month later, Arkansas State called, and I actually committed to Arkansas State. I was like, well, there's not any more big-time D1 schools that are out there looking for a quarterback. I'm going to just take what I have right now and play it safe. If I get more offers, I can always lean and look towards something else. So I ended up going with Arkansas State, and literally the only other offers I had was Southland Conference, like the FCS schools, the Nichols, the McNeeses, the Lamars, and stuff like that. But the only big-time D1 offers I had was Arkansas State and Eastern Carolina. And so Eastern Carolina came in the last 2 weeks. They didn't want to – it was Lincoln Riley at the time. He was the offensive coordinator. Yeah. And they had came when I played against Leonard Fournette, and I had my best game of my college career, and they still didn't offer me. So that I kind of took that to heart. I was like, all right, well, I guess if that wasn't good enough, then, I was the second option to you guys. So I stuck it out with Arkansas State. I'm a big guy based off of loyalty, man. If you show me loyalty, you got my loyalty to the teeth, man. And so, and that's what I told them, and I went with Arkansas State, and I didn't regret my decision one bit. I absolutely fell in love with that coaching staff over there. I actually knew a few of them before I even, attended school there. But Coach Bell left after my redshirt freshman year. Really hit home. He was I was going through a lot in my personal life, and he was like a dad to me and stuff, and also as well as my offensive coordinator. Well, he ends up leaving and going to Maryland, and Coach Anderson brought in a new offensive coordinator that was more of the dual threat type of guy, and so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna see how it fares out and stuff like that. Well, going through spring and stuff, they actually brought in a transfer, Justice Hansen from Oklahoma. And so, we battled it out and stuff, and they decided that, by the end of camp that, if they had to pick a starter, it would be him. And so, I was like, all right, well, that's y'all's choice, whatever. I'm going to take my talents, somewhere else. We had our disagreements and stuff. So ended up going to McNeese. The reason why I dropped down the level is because I had already played in 8 games as a freshman.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm just trying to, keep that ball rolling. And so, I'm going to be at home. I'm going to be at McNeese. It's winning this program in FCS history right now. So I was like, how can you not beat that? And my grandparents get to come and see me. They were kind of like getting towards that age. They actually both passed. So, but yeah, they got to come see a few games, man. The atmosphere there is just so great. And I could have went back to D1, but I would have had to sit out. I had 18 offers when I decided to transfer, so I was very impressed with that. But yeah, man, it's a crazy, crazy process, and you honestly never know what is going to happen. And this process can throw you for a loop, man. You just kind of play it as it is, and don't even, like I tell kids all the time, don't stress out about it. You got to play the game too. Don't just sit there and let them dictate on what your commitment is. What I'm saying. So it just kind of take it day by day, man. And I don't regret any decision I've ever made. And it kind of made me into the person I am today. And went through a crap ton of struggles and had to grind my behind off in high school and in college to get whatever I needed to get accomplished. So
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So at McNeese in 2016, you had one of the best seasons they had ever seen from the quarterback position. You threw over 3,000 yards. You were just 33 yards shy of the school record, 5 touchdowns against number 1 ranked Sam Houston State, all that good stuff. Did you expect to break out like you did coming from Arkansas State to McNeese?
Absolutely. I'm not going to shy away from it.
Don't, for sure.
I'm not being cocky either, but I was so ready to I came in there ready to go. I won the job in 12 days without even knowing really the entire offense, just going out there, having fun and just playing ball, man. And that place really needed a leader. The culture there was really bad. So, I knew that going in there, and basically everybody kind of bought in. The first day, it was workouts the first day, and everybody was, like hooping and hollering and stuff. Like nobody was focused and stuff. And so after the end of the practice, I kind of cursed everybody out and got their attention. I didn't come here I just left a school that wins 5 out of 7 championships every 5 to 10 years, whatever the record is over there for championships. I was like, I just left there and I can go right back. I was like, I honestly don't want to put up with any bullshit. I was like, excuse my French, but
you're good.
I'm coming here to win championships, and that's it, and everybody ended up buying in and stuff. And we had the most historical offensive season that McNeese has ever had. So, and it kind of declined a little bit because based on change on what Coach Guidry wanted to happen on offense, when you kind of play those North Dakota State teams, you got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to run the ball in bad weather too. So, people say like, oh, you didn't play as good in your junior and senior year compared to your sophomore year. But I was like, well, if you actually look at the stats, that it shows that my attempts were cut in half. So, you kind of play with what you got. So, but all in all, man, 2016 definitely brings back some good memories, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, following your career at McNeese, you were invited to participate in the Saints rookie minicamp. How did it feel getting to showcase your talent in front of your hometown team? And then did that lead up to other opportunities as well?
As crazy as it sounds, it kind of didn't lead to any other opportunities as much as I wish it did. Yeah. It was incredible though, man. You throw on that Saints helmet, it's like, wow, I made it, Yeah. But it's not I made it as complacency. I made it. I'm good to go. I'm satisfied. No, it's like I'm really
here,
wearing I've been dreaming my entire life to throw on an NFL helmet. I'm wearing it right now, and I've basically accomplished every goal that I could possibly have. But and all I ever wanted was a shot, and they definitely gave that to me. And what's funny is I ranked the best out of every quarterback that was at camp, including JT Barrett. But they ended up cutting all of us. Yeah. I ended up breaking my foot over the summer. And so I missed every opportunity I had for preseason because it was a 3-month recovery process. And then the spring league came along. To be honest, I didn't have a lot of faith in it. I was like, man, I don't even know what this is and stuff like that. My mom's like, you should just try it. You're just coming out of rehab and stuff. And, just get back on your feet and just show that you can still play. So I did it, and it was a great experience, man. I actually did it in Atlanta. I did it in Dallas, and I did it in Vegas. So hold this umbrella. But yeah, man. And then so Ottawa ends up calling, but I wouldn't say that. I would say that nothing came out of it, but like at the same point, like nothing grew off of that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I got a bunch out of it, but like it never led up into it like another team, wanting to pick me up. And that just is what it is, man. Not everybody needs a quarterback.
Yeah, I remember whenever you were in New Orleans, competing at that rookie minicamp, I was really pulling for you, to
I appreciate
make it
man.
out of there because I was a big fan of yours and I'd been watching you for a while. So can you you kind of explained it a little bit, but can you explain like really what like the Texas Spring League is and then like give us like about your experience in the league?
All right, so the Spring League, so I did two different types of things with the Spring League. So in Atlanta and Vegas, what the Spring League is basically most guys are coming out of the NFL or like just got cut, fresh on their feet, free agents. Everybody's probably between 21 and 26 years old, just trying to get film. In the NFL, they want to see that you're still active, that you're still in shape, and that you're ready to go. And if you can, continue to collect good film and put it out there, man, it just shows that you're in the game and you're still, you're healthy, your mind's in it still, you're still young and you're living right. All the proper needs that you need to continue to play ball. And that's what the Spring League gives you the opportunity of, is just getting more film. And, that's both practice and in the games. Now, the Dallas thing, that was completely different. So they brought in me and Zach Mettenberg in to play against Japan. So we were all on the same team. Normally you're split up into 4 different teams, and I would have my own squad. He would have his own squad, whatever. That's how Atlanta and Vegas would work. But when it came to Dallas, we had to prep for a game. We were all on the same team. So we prepped for an entire week, and then we played, 5 practices in a game. So we had to tighten up in the meeting room and make sure practice was very detailed, man, because that's tough to do. They had been playing or practicing together for like 2 weeks, so they were already ahead of the game. But thank God we didn't have to go travel out there because my legs would have been shot pre-game. So, but yeah, man, it was an incredible experience. The Dallas Cowboys were out there, the Baltimore Ravens, and we had a bunch of scouts. We had a lot of CFL teams. But, the Spring League it's a great place to get exposure, you know what I'm saying? So, people have asked me, are you going to do it again? I'm probably not, because I've already done it 3 times. If I don't have enough film from what I have right now, then I honestly don't know what to tell you. So, but yeah, man, it's a great experience for everybody that's trying to, continue to make their dreams come true and stuff. That's definitely one way to, help yourself out. I ended up doing it after I was in the NFL, but it's still something that could definitely help you pop off. It helped me out with the CFL. Ottawa Red Blacks, they called me up during the middle of their season, actually right before playoffs. And they were like, hey, do you have a passport and such and such? And I was like, yeah. And well, they ended up going with somebody else. I kind of feel like that's like the whole story, Yeah, the second option guy, but it is what it is. I know it's a business, like I said earlier, and but I'm just blessed to be able to be and have those opportunities to talk to those teams, to at least put on the Saints helmet, through mini camp. And
you're still part of the small percentage who've never been able to do
facts,
that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, it's less than 1% that can throw on an NFL helmet, let alone being just the position I'm in. There's only 3 quarterbacks per team. That's 96 people in the entire world get to play quarterback.
All these people who just are just bashing professional athletes. It's like, you guys don't understand. Like,
they don't have
it's
a clue,
so
man.
like the process just to get there. That's why I'd like to like bring athletes on my show like you, and stuff like that, because like I like being able to expose, like, put the stories out there so that people really truly realize how hard and difficult it is.
Oh yeah, man.
Just to even get an opportunity, you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
But yeah, you're currently working at the University Medical Center in New Orleans, which currently has the highest per capita coronavirus death rate in America. So thank you, first of all, for doing that.
Absolutely.
Can you explain what led to your decision to enter like the front lines of this pandemic, and then what your specific job is?
So I kind of, how could I put it? So kind of when I got back from Dallas and stuff, that's kind of really when it was actually Vegas. So it hit a week after Vegas, and, I was just home, just training and stuff like that. Well, my dad, he's an architect, and he's a independent contractor, like, for every hospital here in New Orleans. And so, he asked me, he's like, hey, do you want to work? I was like, not really, man. I'm not ready for, a real job. And, I want to just continue to train, for 4 to 5 days a week, like I've always done since I was 8 years old. It's like, I just want to continue to play ball and stuff. And he's like, nah, like, I'm really going to need you. And I was like, was this stuff really that bad? He's like, yeah, like, I need all hands on deck, dude. And he's like, I need reliable people too. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. I was like, just give me the hours I want, like, based on my schedule and stuff, and made it work. And it ended up becoming an absolute chaos situation, as in, like, the pandemic itself. So, I kind of took that to heart, that I'm actually on the front lines, and I'm helping being the solution to the problem, and not being part of the problem. So, I really took the initiative to doing that, and I'm working PPE, which is personal protective equipment. And so whenever, like, a unit of nurses or doctors, they could be in the middle of a surgery, hey, we need 60 gowns and something, certain amount of masks and all this type of stuff, man. We have a bunch of allocations we have to send out every day. We probably send out over like 700 gowns twice a shift, because, I mean, just going in and out of the COVID rooms, and, you got to throw everything away and stuff. Well, at first, like, it was so chaotic because we didn't have the equipment that was prepared for a pandemic. So we had nurses, like, wearing the same equipment going from room to room. They just had to wipe it down. They couldn't get new stuff. It was crazy, man. But yeah, that's what kind of led me into that. And then, it's kind of winding down, thank the Lord. I'm just hoping this second surge doesn't come back. But it's been an absolutely humbling and amazing experience to witness this stuff. It really puts life into perspective on how fast it can be taken from you. And through all of this, it's been a huge blessing, that because it's changed me both mentally, physically, and spiritually. I've been working out like crazy. My grandpa passed away. I've broken some bad habits. I've been eating right. Like, it's just been kind of all over the place on how this is all, like, fared out. But it's definitely been a life-changing experience. I'm definitely a different person coming out of this completely. When you see 15 to 20 dead bodies every time you go to work, it kind of changes you, man. It really does. And every time you walk past a room, somebody's on a ventilator, no matter what. It's scary, but it's good to. It's what I love about going to work is that I'm such a positive vibe person that, I love going in there when stuff is depressing and just lighten up the room. And that's my favorite thing to do, is to go and, how are the nurses doing, and, like, the doctors, just kidding around, maybe crack a joke here and there, tell somebody they look pretty today. It's all about living right, man, and just enjoying life every single day and living it to the fullest.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, how do you, like, find time to train and, like, work out during, like, the pandemic and your job? Like, that's crazy.
All right. So my schedule would be, so from 10 this is probably like 4 out of the 5 days, 4 out of the 7 days. So I'll train at 10:30 at my trainer's facility. So from 10:30 to 12:30ish, I'll train, and then I got work from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. And I in the middle of my breaks, I'll go and get in an hour lift, and then literally probably around 7, 8 o'clock, right before I get off, I'll hit like 500, 600 abs or something like that. Like, just do another workout. So I've honestly just been shredding my body, but I mean, I've been bored, so I feel like a prisoner. So literally whenever I get bored, I just start picking up weights and just kind of occupying myself. But Yeah, I have a crazy schedule, and I actually just accepted the offensive coordinator job at Holy Cross, well, the passing game coordinator.
That's
And
your high school, right?
yeah, that is my high school.
Yeah.
I'm actually at my coach's house right now. We're about to watch film after this interview, but I'm pumped about this too. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna hang up the cleats completely, but this is an amazing opportunity that I have. I'm only 24 years old, and I got listed as the passing game coordinator, the head strength coach, and also a teacher. And you can't really ask for too much better than that. And it's something that this is a career I want to definitely get into, is coaching. I never want to get away from the game of football, whether that's playing it or coaching it. But the best thing about all of this is that my head coach, Coach Salt, he's very understanding of my situation. If I get a phone call, he said to get up and leave. I always have a spot back at home. And so, that's great to hear. And that's all. You want to work for people like that. It's not always just about their aspirations. It's about everybody else's around you that you work with. And that makes such a better working environment as well. And so, I'm excited about, having him on my side with that, because anything can, like I said, you wake up and you have no idea who's going to be calling your phone.
Right.
So every day's a mystery, but, right now I'm loving this coaching thing. And I know that when I was released from the Saints, Coach Carmichael pulled me aside. He's the offensive coordinator for the Saints. He said, you definitely can play in the NFL. He's like, just right now, we don't need you as a quarterback. It's all about, who needs what. It's not about how good you are sometimes. And which that sucks. But he said, if you ever get into coaching, he's like, call me. Please call me. Because he said that he'd like to bring me underneath him. And I already know he's going to be a head coach soon someday. And I guess he just likes my, IQ of the game and how much time I actually spend in the film room, just on my own time.
Yeah.
But, I've just, you just become obsessed with the game, man. And you just love learning. And it's never work if you love it, right?
For sure.
So, I'm hoping, maybe in 2 to 3 years, I'm a hit. I mean, we stay in touch though anyways, but I'm definitely going to hit him up for, that coaching job. And hopefully I can be making $200,000 to $300,000 a year coaching. Huh?
More, bro, more.
Absolutely.
But I got one last question for you, and then I'll let you watch some film. You have any advice for the young athletes out there? You've had like an incredible story and all that. So if you could just pass along some of your advice, that'd be sick. I think you're muted.
Damn again. I press it again. All right. Let me see. Don't want it to be something good. All right. I would say worry about the job you have, not the job you want. Because it puts that quote is like put into basically almost every situation you can be in football. That's being a backup. That's fighting for a job. That's trying to get recruited. And that's trying to make it to your ultimate dream, as most players, is the NFL. And what that means is to worry about the job you have, not the job you want. If you worry about the job you want the entire time and you're working an entire another job, you're going to be less focused on the job that you're actually doing right now. In order to obtain that job that you want, you have to get through that job that you're doing now. So if you fail at the job you're doing now, you're not going to get to the job that you want to get to, right? Right. And that's, like I said, recruiting. If you're worried about recruiting the whole entire time, like, oh, man, I don't have any offers. I was there too. I freaked out. But from what I know now, if you just ball, you put your head down, you make good grades, and you just humble yourself, you will get what you want. If you are good enough, they will find you.
Facts.
Point blank, period. And, that goes into coaching and fighting for jobs as a player as well. If I'm worried about, oh, what is this guy doing? What is he working harder than me? Is he doing this now? Forget that, man. You put your head down and you tell yourself, nobody's outworking me. Nobody's going to watch more film than me. Nobody's going to outplay me. And when you get to that mindset that you can tell yourself that without having to worry about anything else, then you'll be successful.
Damn, now that I'm all fired up.
Absolutely, man. When you know yourself is working harder than anybody else, and you don't need to prove it to anybody else but yourself.
Right.
Like I've said in a previous interview, you owe you. Nobody has been through the struggles with you. Only you have. Not every time has been mom and dad been there to pat you on your back through every down moment. Only you have. You know what I'm saying? Through every up and down, you have only had your back the entire time.
Yeah.
And so you owe it to yourself, man. You go out there and you chase your dreams, and no matter what anybody tells you, man, it doesn't matter. I've been told it all. I've been, you're too short, the traditional, you're too short, all this stuff, and, whatever. Look at all the guys that have broke every single barrier possible. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. I mean, it's possible, man. You just literally right place at the right time and just put your head down and don't worry, man. And I'm a big fan of God, so
Amen.
Pray.
Yes, sir.
Pray to that, man. Absolutely.
All right. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all go follow James on Instagram at James Tabary, as well as on Twitter at James Tabary. Appreciate it, bro. Stay in touch, man. And
Absolutely,
I wish
brother.
you all
Thank
the
you for
best.
having me.
Yes,
I appreciate you. Hey, man, you got something good going, man. Thank you for bringing me on the show. I'd love to be back whenever you want to, man. I love chatting about ball.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. It's a blessing, and I'm going to definitely, put this out there and let everybody know who Michael Balko is, man.
Hey, much love, much love. I appreciate it.
All right, my man.
Right.
Y'all have
Have
a
a good
great
one.
day, man.
You too.